Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. In this lesson we're continuing on with the player GUI script, and in this video we're actually going to make a start on filling out the void on GUI function. But first things first, let's put a comment to this line here. So we'll say if display GUI is equal to true, and we'll come inside the brackets. Now the way this is going to work, we're going to do grouping for the GUI. Now if you don't understand what grouping is, please don't worry, we'll be going through it all as we fill out this function. But basically we're going to have one group that draws the textures for the player health, another group for the hunger, and so on. But the first group we're actually going to draw is for the background textures. So I'm going to actually start with a comment, and we'll say exactly that. Draw background textures, and we'll come here. So GUI dot, and we want begin group. We'll open brackets, we want of type new rect, and we'll open brackets again. And what we're going to say is 0, 0, so the group begins right in the corner of the screen, and we'll say screen dot width, and we want screen dot height, and then we can close brackets twice, and we'll close the line off. And we'll just put into the comments begin group, and you can add more to your comments if you wish, but basically we're beginning a group for the background textures. It begins in the corner of the screen, and the group is the size of the screen width via the screen height. And we'll say GUI dot, and we want to end group. We'll open and close brackets, and we'll close the line off there, and we'll put it into the comments. So we'll just say end group, and again you can add more if you wish. So we've created the beginnings of a group and the end of a group by these values here, and inside is where we're actually going to put each line of code to draw the background texture for the stats. So the first one we're going to draw is the background texture for the health. So we want GUI dot, and we want draw texture, and we'll open brackets, and as always of type new rect, and we'll open brackets again. Now this time I don't want it to start drawing right at the very edge of the screen, I want it in slightly, and I'm going to give mine a value of 2.5 f, and you must remember the f because we're not using whole numbers, which means it must exist as a float, by 2.5 f. So we begin drawing the health background texture just slightly in from the corner. So we have 2.5f, 2.5f, and then we'll say underscore, and we want texture size dot x. Now if we come back here, we've already defined our texture size, and we want the x value to begin with, but I want it to draw the background textures slightly larger so that we can actually always see the edge around either the full or empty texture for the health. So I'm telling it to draw by texture size x plus a little bit extra so we get that outline all the way round. And we'll say comma, and exactly the same, the only difference is this time it's dot y, and again we'll draw it a little bit bigger by giving it a value of +5. And we'll close brackets there. And then we'll say comma. And then we need to tell it what actually to draw. In this case, it's the underscore background texture. We'll close brackets there. And we'll close the line off. And we'll get it into the comments. So we'll say draw background, and we'll just say for health. Again, you can word your comments differently if you wish, and I'm just going to tidy up the comments, and I may have to do this more than once, but let's just tidy them up for now. I'll get all the void on GUI comments in a row here. We'll save that off and we'll go and check it out. Now, in our last lesson, we set up the toggle GUI button. I've set my positive to Q for now. You should have already done this. And also remember that you needed to assign your textures. And we'll hit play. And we just need to hit Q. And as you can see, we're drawing a black background. Now, don't worry about the way it looks at the moment. We just want to check whether it's working. As I said, remember that we'll be drawing both the empty and the full texture over that. So we'll only be able to see the outline once we've actually completed. But we need to get on and draw the other backgrounds. But time's getting on in this lesson, so I'm going to break this up into parts because we have a lot of code for the void on GUI. But I've gone through the basics of how it works here. We'll discuss them again as we fill out the rest of the script. But for now, we'll leave it here in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time. And until then, bye for now.